Hello everyone, welcome to the bookshelf tour number 2. Now, some of you may know that I'm actually volunteering to help get a library book sale going, which has been a lot of hard but very fun work. So you would think that I'm tired already of sorting through books and looking through books, but I don't think that could ever actually be the case. So we're gonna go ahead and look at all the cookbooks that I have on these shelves because these aren't gonna be here for very much longer. There's a project I'm working on, so these bookshelves right here are going to be emptied and these are going to be moved into another section. And so I wanted to go ahead and show these books here before they kind of get mixed into ones that I've already shown you in the previous bookshelf tour. So I say we just go ahead and get started because there's quite a few on here and there's some really interesting ones that I think you're really gonna want me to pull out to do on the channel. So just like in the first bookshelf tour, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and put in the comments which cookbooks you want me to pull out of here so that we can fast track them on the channel. I'm working my way currently through the stack of suggestions you guys gave me for the first one, and I think this one's going to give us just as large of a stack because there's some really cool things going on in here. So let's go ahead and get started and make note of your favorite ones and start putting them in the comments. So you can see here we've got 6 shelves full of some really cool cookbooks. I'm not going to include this because this was actually given to me by someone, this whole box. And I think I'm going to do a separate video on them because there's some really interesting things in here too. So let's just concentrate on these and see which ones you guys really want to see. Now, there is one caveat to this. You'll notice that a lot of these cookbooks, especially if you've seen all of my, older videos, you'll know that I've actually done videos on, quite a few of these. So I'm not actually going to pull them out since we've already looked and reviewed at, those. So we're just going to concentrate on ones that have never been on the channel. Now, these we've already done. However, I don't think we've had this one on the channel. I'll have to check and make sure, but let's go ahead and include that just in case. I know we've done all of these here, except for this little treasure. Nancy Drew. We haven't, oh wait, we did do that one. And we did this one, which is an awesome favorite. I've cooked out of this many a time since I've reviewed it on the channel. I love it. We've had all of these on the channel, which came very highly recommended. I love them. But look at this. We have a 4th one of his that came out. So let's go ahead and put that to the side. We've done these 2. These are also great favorites of mine. We haven't done this one though. And here's some, now this one we've done, this one, but we do have some other ones, little pamphlets and stuff. So let's go ahead and pull these out and start looking at this stack. All right, this is a great stack to start with. Let's go ahead and just look at these little pamphlets. I actually got these on eBay. You can see here this is made by French's. They make the French's mustard. And this is just one of those little pamphlets that doesn't have a date on it, but it looks kind of 70s to me. I think this camper style looks very indicative of maybe early to mid 70s. And inside, you basically just have lots of little recipes that you can cook over an open fire. I love this little thing. It's so cute. I love the little pictures included. And it's got all kinds of little recipes in here that look really good. I love how everything looks so vintage to us now, but this is all things that I would totally collect and actually start using. This is something I would love to do a little episode on whenever we go to a state park and we're going to actually, cook on an open fire, because everything looks really good in here and it's just so cute. I especially love this little happy vacation at the end. I think that's a really cute touch. We also have this little pamphlet for RVers. Now this one does have a date on it. You can see it's 1973. And this one has all kinds of little tips and helpful hints on, how you're cooking in your RV and how to make it as efficient as possible. I like the little illustrations in this one, and you do actually have some recipes in there that look really good. Recipes for restful roving. So you've got some things, hopefully, that are simple enough that you're not going to be pulling your hair out trying to get it on the table. And again, there's some really tasty things in here that actually look good, to try at home, even if you don't have an RV. We don't have one, but this is something I'd cook out of anyway. We also have Better Homes and Gardens tipped their hat into the camp cooking genre. There's no date on this one either, but the font and the illustrations also looks pretty 70s to me. And I like how this one actually gives you menus. So if you want to do a complete menu, they're actually telling you, what recipes to use start to finish. This one looks really good. I love the color scheme. I love the little vintage illustrations in this one. And I actually got this in a batch of a bunch of pamphlets for just a few dollars on eBay. So I was really glad to get this one. We have another little book that also looks very 70s. You can see she's got her bell bottoms on and it's got that old style camper. And we can see this is 1973. Oh, and look at that car. Oh, that's definitely a 70s muscle car. And this one's pretty interesting because we're going state by state in a way, and doing all kinds of recipes from all kinds of different places in the United States, like Chattanooga cornmeal, we got Texas hash, we got Denver vegetable stew. So we got all kinds of really cute little things going on in here. And I think this is a really cute little cookbook that I picked up on eBay. And I'm really glad I got this one too, because this one looks really fun. I would love to dive into this one. With spring and summer coming around and the weather turning nice, I think it's time we pulled these out. Now, this one is a little bit of an odd one for me. It's newer. I'm not sure what to make of this one. I actually tried to review this one when we went camping last year. This is the one I was going to bring with us, but I kind of couldn't find anything that I wanted to review out of it at that time. So I think maybe we need to look at this one again. Maybe this is going to be one we'll definitely put on the channel so I can see if we need to actually keep it or not. This one's a new one for me that I found at the Tractor Supply store. It's a newer cookbook, not vintage at all, but it looked like it had some really good recipes in it. I thought this one would be fun to try. Now this one, a lot of you may know who Jan Karon is. She's the author of a really, really popular fiction series that started in Midford. That's the little town that she's got all her characters in. And they're very, very cute books, really funny. Me and my grandmother just finished the entire series and loved it. This is the cookbook. And guess what? I have never cooked out of this. I don't know why. I've had it for years. It was actually my grandmother's, and then she gave it to me because she didn't think she would ever use it. And I guess the torch was just passed on to me for not using it. Maybe that's just gonna be a family thing that we just never use this one cookbook. But it looks really cute. It looks good. And if you want to see it on the channel so I can break that tradition, just put that in the comments below. This one I was very excited to get. I even bought another one and gifted it to that person. But oh my goodness, look at how beautiful this cookbook is. I could not wait to get my hands on it based on how much we loved the prior 3 from this author. And it's beautiful. The dishes look very interesting. So we are definitely going to have this on the channel to do a very good look through and a taste test. But I have pretty high hopes. I think this is going to be very good. And now look at this treasure. Did you know that L.M. Montgomery, author of Anne of Green Gables, was a cook and loved to collect recipes and actually compiled them all together for herself, and then it was made into a cookbook? I am so excited to have this. And I've been waiting for the perfect moment to put it on the channel. But you know what? I think we just need to jump in and do it because I love her. I love her writing. And I have no doubt that she was an excellent cook. So we will go through her recipes. We'll look through, this cookbook and see if this is something, if you're an Anne fan, see if this is something that you might want to add to your collection. I kind of think that you would. And this one, I don't think we've had this on the channel. We might had. It does kind of seem familiar. I've done so many at this time. I guess I just can't remember which ones I've had and which ones I haven't. Actually, we might have made this shortbread. I think we did this one. And it was very good. But if you want to see this one again, then I would not be opposed to pulling this one back out because it is so beyond cute. It's wonderful for any Anne fan. I think you would really love this one. Now this one we may have also had on the channel. This is illustrated by Tasha Tudor, which is one of the reasons why I got it. And of course, Tasha just did wonderful with her illustrations. It really makes the book something very special. I absolutely love this little cookbook. I think it's so great for children, especially, anyone that loves The Secret Garden. So if we haven't done this on the channel, let me know. We'll go ahead and do it. And if we have and you want to see it again, then we'll do it again. I think this would be a great idea. Now this one I've never had on the channel. This is the unofficial Downton Abbey cookbook. I've actually, I don't think I've ever personally used this cookbook. I don't know why. I can't remember where I got it. I don't know why I've never cooked out of it. I've had it for a long time now. So maybe it's time we did a review and see, if this is a cookbook worth keeping for me. Am I just gonna keep forgetting to use it? I have no idea. So let's go ahead and maybe put this one to the side because we really need to see if we're gonna like this one or not. And last but not least on that shelf, look at this little jewel. New Age Vegetarian Cookbook by the Rosicrucian Fellowship. This is a Christian group that meets out in California. And way back in the day, I believe starting in the 60s or early 70s, they put out a cookbook on how to be healthy and what you should be eating, to have a healthy mind and body. So I went ahead and bought this one. Now this is obviously a newer edition. You can see this is the 8th edition, which was published in 1979, whereas the first one was 1968. So we're kind of in the height of the hippie era, you know, the Jesus movement, and all those young people wanting to get back to the land and grow their own food. So this is going to be something fun to delve into if you want to see this one. Now we are on the second shelf. A lot of these here I've done a short on already, but I will pull them out to see, you know, a little bit closer. We've done some of these, so I'm going to go ahead and pull out what we haven't and then take a closer look. My mom had this one. This is my grandmother's copy. She, you know, had this one for years, and we have cooked out of this quite a bit. I absolutely love this one. It makes some of the best snickerdoodle cookies ever. So if you want to see this one on the channel, let me know. This is just a really fun, nice cookbook to have. Now this one we have not had on the channel. I haven't cooked out of this one yet either. I kind of recently acquired this one and it looked interesting, so I grabbed it. You know how that is. And then, you know, sometimes you just kind of forget to pull it back out and, you know, actually cook out of it. But I love these illustrations. You know me. You know I love a good 1970s spread of food in those pictures. The recipes look really fun and different. So this is something that would be really fun to have on the channel to test out, because I have a suspicion this would be really good food. And now we need to get back into my soup for supper series, because I have so many that are so cute, especially this one. I love this little cookbook. I love the layout. I just love the illustrations. Everything about this one is perfect. I love it. So yeah, let's pull this one to the side and actually, you know, cook something out of it. This one I believe I've actually had on the channel, so we've probably already done this one, but I like this one. It's cute. It doesn't have pictures, but the illustrations are nice, and the soups always turn out pretty good. So this is something that if you love soup, this is one that you may want to pick up. And then I found one of his other ones from a monastery kitchen. Now, I haven't cooked anything out of this one yet, but we need to. The illustrations are so cute. Things, you know, sound really good. That parsley soup, I'm going to have so much parsley in my herb garden, so that one might be something that we, you know, actually make. But yeah, everything looks really good in this one. We need to have this one on the channel as well. Now, some of these I just picked up at library book sales because they looked interesting and I liked the, you know, pictures on the inside. But this one is really interesting. This is a treasury of country cooking, but it's 50 different countries, not just, you know, the country. So you can see we've got the Netherlands, we've got France, Portugal, we had Mexico earlier, here's Tahiti, we've got France again. So yeah, this one seemed really fascinating to me, and I really wanted to get into this one. So, oh man, there's so many we need to pull out and review. This one is another one that's just really fascinating looking. Now, this was my grandmother's. Some of you may remember Trader Vic. He put out some cookbooks, had some restaurants. I don't even know if my grandmother ever used this particular cookbook because I don't remember seeing her use it. But there does look like there's some pretty good, you know, recipes in here from all over the world. We've got those fascinating 70s food spreads again, which is always something, you know, really nice to see. So again, this one, I haven't used it yet, so this would also be new to me if we put it on the channel. Now, this is one that Mitch picked out at the library book sale, and we haven't tried this one yet, but it looks really good. I know I'm saying that for all of them, but you know, I mean, they do all really look good. We only have so much time to put out so many videos. We'd love to do them all immediately, but yeah, this one looks like it would be pretty fascinating too. Oh, we got fire pot cookery. Okay, so there's some interesting things in this one that would make this one pretty fun to do. Now, this one you'll know immediately if you've ever been to Wall Drug in South Dakota. I've been twice and I love it. Now, this is a collection of recipes from their workers at the time it was published, and I think this is totally cute. I picked this up from eBay, so I didn't actually buy it for $10 at Wall Drug, but this would really be a fun look through. We have this one that I also bought on eBay. It's a little bit beat up, but it's from the 70s, so it's kind of, you know, been through a few decades. But this one looks really good. This person here who wrote the cookbook actually had a TV show that he cooked on, and this was his cookbook. And this one's special because the original sourdough starter is actually still in this package. Now, we will not actually use it on the channel. I'm pretty positive this is past its expiration date, but it would be fun to do a deep dive on exactly who Sourdough Jack was. This one I picked up from Edward R. Hamilton. This one is a reprint of a much older cookbook. The original you can see was printed in 1912. This one is 2017 edition. So this one looks like it would be fun to look through to see if this is still economical in 2023 dollars as it was supposed to be economical in 1912 dollars. Now, of course, these are not vintage, but they're still goodies. These are some of my favorite America's Test Kitchen cookbooks. This is vegan for everybody. This one's been very good. If you want to see a review on that one, I've used this one. 5-ingredient dinners. You know, this kind of reminds me of recipes that you might find on HelloFresh if you've ever had that subscription service. So these are easy to prepare. I've really enjoyed them, and the taste is good. We have a summer cookbook, which, yes, I am wanting to get the autumn edition of this one also. But we're coming up on summer, so if you want to see a deep dive and a review of this one, we can certainly do that. I've used their Mediterranean cookbook several times. I've enjoyed this one. The meals turn out good, and it's pretty easy to prepare, so you're not going to be, you know, thrown loops in the kitchen trying to scramble and get dinner on the table. They're pretty straightforward and work up pretty quick. The one pot is also one of my favorites. I've really enjoyed this one. I've made several dinners out of this one. So if you'd like to see what one of those dinners looks like, then comment below, because this one is a really fun cookbook. And of course, I had to get the side dish Bible. You know, you're supposed to have a recipe for every side that you might ever need to make all in one cookbook. So we could do a deep dive on this one because this one's got some good stuff in it. This one's one of my favorites. I've used this several times. You're supposed to just, you know, get 1 week's worth of groceries, and you will use all of those groceries up by the end of the week with no waste. And that's actually why I got it, because I'm, you know, trying to cut down on food waste. And this is one way that's been helping me do that, and the meals are wonderful. This one, oh, I love this one. I've actually made several different bowls from this cookbook, and they've all been really good. Look how wonderful that looks. Oh my goodness, I just love looking through these and finding out what my next lunch is gonna be. But everything has turned out really good. So if you want to see a bowl made from this cookbook and maybe a deeper dive into it, just let me know. All right, we're halfway through. These are the cookbooks on this shelf that we have already had on the channel. That's the Monet cookbook. We loved it. We've done Harvest. That was a really great one. It's not just salad, raw vegan food. This was so good. And then, of course, we've got Tiny Pantry, and we have had that on the channel a couple of times. But that leaves us with this stack. So let's go ahead and go through it. China, the cookbook. Now, I did not pay $30 for it. I actually got it from Edward R. Hamilton for a really good sale. And this is just everything China. If you want to learn how to cook Chinese food, there's a recipe in here for everybody. I think, you know, with just this one cookbook, you would get a really good idea of Chinese food and all the different tastes. Now, this one is not a cookbook. This is actually a compendium and a history of all the different African American cookbooks that have been published in America and a history of each one, which is fascinating. So if you're really into cookbook history and you want to sink your teeth into something that encompasses all of American cooking, this one would be a great way to go. We have the California cookbook from the LA Times. Grabbed this one because, well, it was from the newspaper and it's regional. That's kind of some things that I really love to see in a cookbook. The pictures were great. So yeah, this one looks like a really good one too that we could try because I bought it and I haven't tried it yet. Now, this is a very different one, the Civil War Cookbook. I actually really loved the front cover of this one. You see you've got your sugar cone, you're cooking over an open fire. Everything looks so rustic and so good. And this is a cookbook that actually covers both Confederate and Union cooking. So I thought it would be a nice one to look through and gain a little bit of history and see if the food was really good. Now this one is very special. Did you know the actor Vincent Price loved to eat, loved going to restaurants, and loved compiling his favorite dishes from those restaurants? And so this is what we have here. Just a wonderful collection of recipes and places, you know, to eat that may or may not still be standing. I don't know, but wow, what a great cookbook to look through. Now, this one I'm kind of torn on. I bought this on sale at Ollie's. I just bought it because, you know, it looked good. And, you know, I'm always trying to get healthy. But one of the recipes we tried in this one already didn't actually have that much flavor. So we were kind of torn on it. If you do want to see me, you know, do a deeper dive on it on the channel, let me know. Actually, I just found it. Yes, it was this recipe right here. The slaw and the shrimp just really didn't taste like kind of much of anything. We were pretty disappointed in it, but we're willing to give the cookbook another try. So if you want me to look at this one and see, do I need to keep this cookbook or just kind of let it go, then let me know. We'll do a review on it. Mandy's Gourmet Salads. Now, I have made a couple salads out of this one already, done some of the dressings. They've been great. This is actually a restaurant that has lots of these really great salads on their menu, and they became so popular that they turned them into a book. So if you would like me to show you this one and do one of the salads, just let me know, because doesn't that look wonderful? Now, these two are just some newer ones that I picked up, again, at Ollie's, which maybe I need to stop going there because it's too much of a temptation. This one I got off of eBay. So, you know, this one we have tried before. It's pretty good. So if you would like to see that one, let me know. It wasn't anything too crazy, just, Mediterranean cooking. And this one I've been meaning to put on the channel, but then keep getting sidetracked from other cookbooks. But if you would like to see me go through some of these cheeses, especially the vegan cheeses, and make some on the channel and see what we think, then just let me know, because it certainly looks really good. But now we're into the very special ones that was on that shelf, and ones that I think someone out there is going to pick to do the review on, because these are very cool. This one is a restaurant, of course, vegetarian. It's the Field of Greens, and with a name like that, who could resist the cookbook? It's got some great looking things in here. We need to do a deep dive on this one. So if you'd like to see it and learn a little bit more about the restaurant, just let me know. And then, speaking of names, who could resist Horn of the Moon Cookbook? This is a Vermont vegetarian restaurant. I love the cover of it. I thought the illustration was great. And of course, like I said, the name just really pulled me to it. And there's some really nice looking things in here. So if you want to see this one and learn about this restaurant, then put that in the comment section below. Now, these two I actually got on eBay because, and I will admit, it was the pictures on the front and the names. I didn't even look at the inside to see, if I would like the recipes. They were only a few dollars each, and I just took a chance and grabbed them, because what interesting cookbooks and names that are going on with these. And of course, everything in here has tofu in it. So I thought that was really fun to, look through and see all the different things you could make with tofu. And then that meant I had to get the sequel too, Tofu Goes West. I mean, how could you resist this one? So we kind of have tofu going Tex-Mex, which looks pretty fun. So yeah, if you want to see these, let me know, because I've been waiting to do these. We have the Tassajara bread book, which we've already done the Tassajara cookbook on this channel, and then I found the bread book. So I thought this one would be great to look through. And of course, I can substitute gluten-free flour, so that's not a problem. And I think there's enough, different things to choose from in here that I think would be really good. Now, we have done this one. I really enjoyed this one. I really like the whole kind of, vintage 70s vibe going on with this. It kind of reminds me of the cookbooks that I used to see at health food stores when I worked in one in the early 2000s. So yeah, this was a fun one. I would actually recommend this one. But we also have Country Life, and we haven't had this one on the channel before. This was a vegetarian restaurant, and this one looked pretty interesting too. It does have, quite a few recipes in it. So if you wanted to look through this one and, kind of recapture that whole 70s, 80s vegetarian vibe again, then we certainly can through this one. And this one's very special to me. The Smoky Mountain Herbal Society Cookbook. Oh my goodness, everything in here looks so good, and of course uses so many herbs. And after you see what I'm going to be doing with my garden this year, you're gonna want me to pull this cookbook out, because we're going to be pretty much sitting in herbs up to our necks and we're gonna need lots of uses for them. And we're zeroing in on the next shelf. These are the ones left on here that we've already had on the channel. We've got a basket of homemade breads, which has been awesome every time. The country commune cooking, that recipe was not good at all, but nah, we don't know about the other recipes yet, and the information and just the history of communes in America was kind of enough for me to say go ahead and get that one if you're interested in that kind of hippie culture. This one was great. This one was really good. Some of the best carob brownies we've ever had. And then this one gave us one of the best stir fries I've ever had. Let's start on this side. I think a lot of people have seen these How to Cook Everything series. I got the one for vegetarian. It's been pretty good. It's really thick. Sometimes that kind of makes it a little hard to use, especially when there's no pictures to kind of, help you delineate a book this big. But it's got some pretty good information in it, so overall I would say it's pretty good. We got Veganomicon, which has been a fun one to cook out of. I've actually enjoyed this one. This one I think is a little bit more manageable than the How to Cook Everything. So this one might be one that you might gravitate more towards. We have Jean Dalrymple's Pinafore Farm Cookbook. I mean, what a great name. And the fact that it had an old Walden Books sticker on it really made me want this one. That used to be my favorite bookstore ever. But this one's just really cute, really kind of country looking and cozy, and so this one might be a fun one to look through also and kind of do a deeper dive on who this person was. We also have the new Laurel's Kitchen. This one caught my eye because of the illustration on the front. I thought that looked really fun and different. And we have some pretty good looking dishes in here along with some cute illustrations. So let me know if you want to see this one because I would love to do a deeper dive on that one as well. Here's a blast from the vintage vegetarian past. Usually your Moose Woods are always going to be good. I've enjoyed her cooking and her cookbooks for, a couple decades now. So if you want to see any of these, let me know because they are certainly fun and very useful as a cookbook in your kitchen. Now, here's the Tassajara cooking, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm wondering, did we have this one on the channel? I'm not really sure. It's extremely simple and pretty plain dishes, I would say. But if you want to see this one on the channel, let me know because it would be fun to see and talk about who the Tassajara, where this kind of came from. Now, I know we haven't done these yet. This is the Vegetarian Epicure. I went ahead and got book 1 and 2, and this would be a fun one to have on the channel. This is another one of your kind of vintage vegetarian cookbooks, and so it would be fun to kind of do a look into the past on these also. This one's newer, but it looked good. I grabbed it because of the pictures, really. I mean, look how good that looks. So this would be a fun look through too. I will admit I haven't tried anything out of it yet. I'm getting more and more like my grandmother, I think every year, where she used to collect cookbooks just to look through them, but I really want to use it. So let's try to have this on the channel too. Vegan Planet I have cooked out of a number of times and I've enjoyed it. So if you've never seen this cookbook and you want to see something cooked out of it, just let me know because it's been really nice so far and every recipe has turned out really good. We have some fun ones in this little stack. Mother Anderson's favorite recipes from the Hotel Anderson. So we have a nice picture on the front. And we have all kinds of recipes that she would feed her guests at her hotel. And so that kind of really grabbed me, and I really wanted to see what that was all about. So this is another little fun one. If you want to see this on the channel, go ahead and comment below. We have the Hawaii cookbook. Now, I think this might have been my grandmother's when she went on vacation in Hawaii. So this one would be fun to look through. She never used it, which is kind of looking like a family tradition right now. So if you want me to break the tradition on this one also, let me know, because this one's cute. I love the designs in it. I love the pictures. I love these little side designs on the pages, and everything looks like it would be very good tasting. We have the complete New Mexico cookbook. Now this one looks like it'd be pretty good too. We got empanadas. We've got all kinds of really good, oh, that looks really good. Oh wow, pinto bean cake? I've never heard of that before. Wow, okay. That one might be one we have to try just to see if it actually tastes good. But yeah, this is another really cute one. One of those that you might have picked on while you were on your vacation through the state. This one is a collection of recipe cards and menus that would have been served on a Royal Caribbean ship. So this was a souvenir that you would had bought after you had eaten at one of their restaurants. And you can see it's got the menu there of, the night in question. And then you do have a couple recipes on here. And each one is themed different. So you have Alaskan Heritage Night. So, you have different things that the ship was trying, each night. And I actually think that's really cool. And it's also a really fun idea. Like, here's the Captain's Gala and what was served on that one. Italian night, but what a cute idea. I've never been on a cruise ship, so I don't know if they still do that, but what a wonderful souvenir. And it's something that if I went on a cruise ship, I would certainly pick this up. I think you've seen me talking about this one in another video. We haven't actually done a deep dive on it yet, but here's how to cut down your food waste. It was written by a Mennonite woman, and she was just really, really wanting to cut down food waste in her community, and her cookbook got pretty popular, outside of the community. So if you want to see this one, just let me know. Now this one I've definitely talked about in a short. I picked this one up just because the inside looked wonderful. I got it for $1 at a thrift store, and someone has already requested that I do this on the channel. So this one is already set aside and waiting for its day in the sun. And then last but not least, we have this newer cookbook, The Vegan Table. This one looks pretty good, and if you'd like to see this on the channel, let me know, because there's some, pretty good things in here. I've already cooked out of it with success, so I think it would be something fun to take a deeper look into. Look at this whole stack. None of these cookbooks that were on the next shelf have been done on the channel, so we've got our work cut out for us. Now some of these are going to look familiar to you because I bought them at the library book sale and have already showed them to you, but I'm sure some of you are going to recognize their names. They used to be on NPR quite a bit, talking about all the great places to eat in America. And these are some of their favorite recipes that they've gotten from different restaurants. So this would be a really fun one. We've got the Hermitage Hospitality. That is Andrew Jackson's house. These are actually a collection of recipes that we know the family used. So this would be kind of fun to look at that kind of era in America to see what they were eating at that time period. and see how best we can recreate it in today's kitchen. The Book of Lost Recipes. Now, this is another one we haven't done yet. This is from restaurants that may, no longer be. But these are, dishes that were highly acclaimed at these restaurants. The food looks good, and it would be fun to try some of these dishes that these famous restaurants were pumping out for several decades. Now, this one I actually forgot that I had. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we need to get this on the channel and talk about it. This one looks really good. And maybe a lesson to me, I need to be looking through these a little bit more often than what I do. But this is just kind of one of those fun cookbooks that kind of looked like it would be a little homey, maybe some comfort food. So this is something that would be fun to do. Show Up for Salad. This is another Ollie's special and another attempt by myself to get some more veggies into our lives. Now, I haven't actually tried this one yet, so if you want to see me try this one and see if this is something that needs to stay in my collection, then comment below, because we do need to use this. This is one of those strange cookbooks I picked up because of the cover. At first I didn't know it was a cookbook, but then when I opened it and saw all these wonderful pictures of food, I knew I had to get it. So if you want to see this one on the channel, let me know, because this one looks like a lot of fun. Now, this is one of those bigger ones. We've got Vermont Year-Round Cookbook. This just looked like it was so neat. We got Spring Fever, and here's Summer in Vermont. So as you can see, the title is literal. We're going through all the seasons of Vermont, and when everything is in harvest at that season, that's what we're going to use. You gotta love these pictures. I'm not really sure what's going on in the background here. I think the scarecrow needed a little bit of help before they put him in the picture, but we do have some good looking grilled corn, so that's something that we could try. Now, this is a nice one. Oh, that looks so good. Maybe we need to try this on the rocket stove. And now we have Famous Foods from Famous Places. This is another one of those restaurant cookbooks in which the restaurant may or may not still be in business. And look here, we have some writing here. Delicious. Delicious. It's just kind of one of those fun ones where, you get to see what restaurants were, going on during the 60s and 70s, and what kind of... Oh, we have another delicious. Okay, this must be a really great cookbook to have that many handwritten notes in it. I think we need to put this on quick. Now, these two are just some little, I would kind of think of them as maybe some souvenir cookbooks. So if you were going to British Columbia, you might see this maybe at one of the visitor centers that you came to. And it looked really good. I wanted to try it. So we need to have this on the channel pretty quick too, I think. And again, here we have another one from Popular Inns across America. So again, may or may not, still be open, but we have at least some of their more famous recipes, still in the history books and waiting for you to make them. Oh, now look at this stack. All right, let's start from the top. We've got the Church Supper Cookbook. Now, this one will probably be pretty interesting to a lot of you, because who doesn't love a bunch of church cooks making dinner? Oh my gosh, they usually have some of the best cooks. So this one, I would say, has to taste good. We have this little homemade cookbook from the holiday market at Ashland. And it's kind of one of those, you know, handwritten, self-published deals that, you know, would have been made as kind of a fundraiser cookbook. So haven't tried this one yet, but it looks good. And we've had a lot of Southern cookbooks, but have we had some Yankee cookbooks? This one here looks really good. You know, needed to balance it out a little bit and get us some Yankee New England cooking in here. I think this would be a fun one to look through and try something too. This is a fun one, quick dishes for the woman in a hurry. Is it really 30 minutes or less? I don't know, but it's really, really cute inside. I love these illustrations and the pictures. So we could have this on the channel and time ourselves to see, did this actually save the turn of the century housewife any time? I don't know, but this would be really, really cute to try. Many of you will remember Jeff Smith. He was on PBS for a number of years. He put out quite a few cookbooks. We used to watch him when I was younger, and the cookbook looks pretty good. Doesn't look too complicated, so I think we might be able to have this on the channel too. And here we've had the I Hate to Cook, but we've never had the Almanac on here. So here is the oh my gosh, I hate to cook, I don't even know what to make kind of cookbook, but Peg Bracken will have you covered, not to worry. She knows exactly how to get food on the table for your family when you kind of just don't feel like it. So we've done our other book. So if you want to see this one, we can certainly have that on there. The 1,000 Recipe Chinese Cookbook. I mean, you couldn't pass that up. 1,000 recipes, and all of them looks really good. We have Westinghouse when they made ovens, which I don't know, they might still make ovens, but they had a little cookbook that they put out back in the day so that when you got your brand new Westinghouse oven, you would know what to do with it. This one has also been requested by a subscriber, so I'm going to set this one aside already also, and we will start on these very soon because this one just seems so odd to me. But we will certainly find out if this one is worth keeping or not. This one is just one that I bought for myself, the DASH diet, just trying to cut down my salt intake. Has it worked? Maybe I won't tell on myself. This one looks great. I got this at another library book sale, and when I get some lavender and get it growing, we're certainly going to take a look at this one because it has food in here also and not just crafts. We've got the Paris Cafe Cookbook. I've never been to France, but I've always loved French food, so this is something that we could do a deep dive on also because it looks really good. And you know what? Suddenly I am really craving some French onion soup. This was Mitch's find. He loves a good burger, so he really wanted to try this one. I don't think we've actually had this one on the channel before, but we have cooked out of it and we really liked it. So if you want to see this, let me know because this was actually a pretty fun cookbook and gives you a lot of really good ideas. We've got some recipes from Carnival cruise ships. This looked really fun to me, and I thought it would be fun to kind of recreate a dinner from some of the most famous ships in the world. And this one I just couldn't pass up. We've got A Taste of Carthage. This is Al Gore's recipes, and you know where I don't know if he still lives there or not actually. It might still be, you know, an estate that he holds, but it is here in Tennessee, and it did have a lot of really good looking recipes in it, so I thought we would take a look at that. And then these are just some magazines that I found on sale at Ollie's. as if I needed to add anything else to my collection, but there we go. They're really good. So if you do really like these kinds of magazines, check out your Ollie's because sometimes they will have these deeply discounted. Okay, we're almost done, I promise. Can you believe we've gone through so many of these? I know that was a lot. Hopefully you were keeping notes because I know that's asking a lot for you to remember what to put in the comments for ones that you want to see. But fortunately with this shelf, we've actually already had quite a few of these on the channel. So we've already done Boston tea parties through, the Time for Tea series, so we won't be going through those again. We've already done the Working Girls Own Cookbook. We loved this one. The Working Wives Cookbook was really good. I Hate to Cook was really good. All of those were really cute. And then we also had the appendix, I Hate to Cook. That was really good to have. But did you know that I also own the I Love to Cook book? And so this is one that we haven't had on the channel yet, but it looks like a lot of fun. It is so wonderfully 70s, isn't it? I love that dress. I love everything that's going on in the background. The food just looks so wonderfully vintage. And this is a woman that loves to cook, so it would be fun to do kind of a deep dive on this cookbook to see, how it differs from the I Hate to Cook book series. So that means we don't have a whole lot to look through, so that's probably good news for us because we have, probably so many that you've been wanting to pull out for me to do a review on. But here's a cute little one, just an invitation to tea. We might put this one on a future tea time. Doesn't have a whole lot of recipes in it, but they do look pretty good. This one, I actually can't remember if I've had it on a tea time episode or not. I don't think I have, but this one is an autographed copy, and it just has some really good looking treats in it. So this is one that would be good to pull out also. We have Tea Room Treasures. This is from Memphis, Tennessee. Kind of reminds me of a church cookbook, some of those that a women's group might put together and collect all their favorite recipes into, and it just looks like it would be really good. Someone recommended this to me in my comments a while ago, Great Tea Rooms of Britain. There's also Great Tea Rooms of America, so you can see this one is also autographed. We'll probably have to go ahead and get the American one also, so we could do a comparison and see who's got the best tea rooms. These are some cookbooks that I just purchased off eBay for a couple dollars each. We've got The Garlic Lovers Volumes 1 and 2. This is from a festival in California that celebrates garlic, and they have people fly in from all over the world to come to it. And it sounded really good because I am wanting to learn how to grow my own garlic and then, have things to make with it. So won't be able to grow any this year because I'm kind of too late in the season, but look at all that. We'll probably just have to buy us some garlic from somebody so we can try all these wonderful dishes. This is a older, beautiful house that you can tour in Jefferson City, Tennessee. We went for their Christmas tour when they decorate everything. And this is a collection of recipes from the workers over the years that, have compiled their favorite recipes. Looked really good, and I kind of wanted a souvenir from my trip. So this one would be really fun to look at. This is something my mom bought and then wanted to give to me to look at, because she just wasn't sure about it, and she wasn't sure if she'd actually make anything out of it. So this is one of those questionable ones that you go ahead and buy because it seems interesting, and then you actually wonder if you're going to really use it or not. So if you want to see this one and see, if this is worth getting and if we would actually use it, let me know. Now, this isn't vintage, but this was kind of an interesting one that I wanted to get because, again, I love knowing what to do with things that I might grow in my garden, and everything just looked really good. The pictures looked good, the food sounded good, so when that produce starts rolling in, let me know because we've got a cookbook that will hopefully tell you what to do with it. This one we're definitely going to have on the channel because, like I said, we're going to have 1,000,000 herbs this year. I bought that just for that purpose because I wanted to incorporate more herbs in my cooking. So this is something that we're going to have on there, you know, anyway. And I think this is going to be so good. I can't wait for my herbs to hurry up and start growing. And we have In a Nutshell, which is exactly what you would think. It's cooking with nuts and seeds. I had these big grand ideas that I would start cooking with nuts and seeds every day, but that hasn't happened so far. So if you want to see me put this on the channel so we can start our journey into nut and seed cooking, just let me know because it does look really interesting and it is something that I would like to add more into my cooking. Of course, this one I had to get. Everyone should have a really, really good cast iron skillet in your kitchen because they're so versatile and they're so wonderful, putting lots of good taste and flavor into your food over time. And so this one just looked like it would be so good. Oh, actually, oh, this one looks so good. Can you tell looking through all these cookbooks are kind of making me hungry? So, yeah, this one looks like a really good keeper and one that we need to have on the channel pretty quick because, ooh, see, now that looks really good too. Okay, I forgot that there were a lot of like really, really good looking things in here. So I might pull this one out myself, even if no one else wants to see it, because I think this one might become a new favorite in your kitchen. And then last but not least, we have a trio of very special cookbooks. I got these for so cheap and now they're going for so much money on eBay. It's crazy. I don't know if these are rare. I've never seen these, you know, out in the wild. I've only ever seen them on eBay. But this lady and her husband owned this Blueberry Hill Inn in Vermont. And this is, you know, some of the dishes that she cooked from that restaurant. We don't have just one. I actually found the whole set on eBay for really cheap. And so we also have the menu cookbook. And this one's really fun because this one goes through and gives you different menus for different occasions. Like we have a June family menu. We have everything that she would have made for that dinner. What's so great for us is for every menu, she tells you what to do with the leftovers and what to make with them. I think that is such a wonderful addition to a cookbook that I really wish other cookbook authors would think about. Because, you know, you can make all this food and then what do you do with it? After, you know, you've already eaten on it, you've got a whole set of extra recipes that she puts in there to use up those leftovers. So what a wonderful idea. I love that, and that would be fun to test out. And then her third one, we've got the Blueberry Hill Kitchen Notebook. And again, we have a collection of recipes that she used at this inn in Vermont. Now, best to my knowledge, the inn is shut down. I'm not sure what year that it closed, But we could at least look at these recipes and see all the good cooking that a lot of the travelers would have been able to eat on their way through Vermont. And look here, we have a chapter on an herb a day. So this might be something really interesting to look at too, like I said, when that big old herb garden starts coming into bloom. And we are finally done. Can you believe I had all those cookbooks crammed in these shelves? I have literally become my grandmother. So, but in my defense, they are so fascinating and so hard to pass up. That sometimes you just can't. I know my grandmother couldn't, and I guess I just got her genetic code on that. But remember, if you want to see any of these, let me know. Because this is the stack that we're making our way through from the very first book tour that I did. So we're making our way through slowly but surely. We're gonna get through these. And if you want to add to them, then go ahead and write them in the comment section below. I'll probably just go ahead and mix them in as we go. Because there's so many fascinating ones in here that we would need to do once our garden and our herbs start coming up, which hopefully is going to be within the next few months. So there you go. I think that wraps up this video. Thanks for sticking along on that really long cookbook tour. Maybe you saw some that you want to haunt eBay for and pick up because there's some real treasures in here. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.